I'm Emily Chiariello, and I'm a teaching and learning specialist in teaching tolerance here at the Southern Poverty Law Center. As an educator, one of the reasons why I value the letter from the Birmingham Jail is for its value in showing the way Dr. King makes a case, makes an argument using both passions and reason for why it's important that we take a stand against injustice. The letter from a Birmingham jail is taught in many, many classrooms, and one of the reasons is that it is complex and rigorous and a good model for what an argument looks like. And the Common Core state standards that have now been adopted by nearly 50 states include the letter from a Birmingham jail alongside a very small handful of other American documents, including the U.S. Constitution and the Gettysburg Address. Many of Dr. King's speeches and words are known for their passions and for his artful use of words as a preacher. In the letter from a Birmingham jail, we feel that same emotion, that same commitment to principles, but we also see an incredibly strong structure for an argument. And when it comes to teaching students about social justice, this letter becomes a really powerful primary source to show kids not only the reasons why we must stand up when something wrong happens and when someone is a victim of bias, but also what a good argument looks like and how one can use words to be persuasive. So for instance, Dr. King begins by telling us that an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And this is his way of sort of responding to the critics for, why are you here? Why are you here in Alabama? Why are you here in Birmingham? And then he probably moves on to hit what is arguably the strongest part of the letter, which is that we have a moral imperative to disobey an unjust law. And by doing this, he connects his legacy to that back from Socrates through Thoreau and Gandhi. And so, again, introducing this in the classroom can be a really wonderful way of showing students the long history of nonviolent direct action. Another thing that I think is really useful, and especially in today and in a contemporary context, it's sort of timeless, is that Dr. King explains the methods to nonviolent direct action, and that there are steps involved, and that at any moment in this practice of negotiation and direct action, the segregationists could have chosen a different path. He says, the yearning for freedom eventually manifests itself, and that is what has happened to the American Negro. Something within him has reminded him of his birthright of freedom, and something without him has reminded him that it can be gained. And it's this bringing together of what's inside each of us and also what's going on outside of us, that in both of those places one can find an argument for justice, that I think makes this an American gem.